Hey everybody, just thought I'd jump on here somewhat quick and share some thoughts about the passing of my wonderful bride. I'm at Claremont State Park right now. This was one of the last outings that Christine was able to do, and I brought her to this park, and we sat and looked at the river and just talked about the immediate future, which we knew wasn't looking good as far as her health was concerned. So I hope to get through this, and I promise I won't keep you long. But I just need to get some things, talk about some things, and this is therapy for me, and it helps me convey some of the story, so I'm not repeating myself over and over again to the multiple people that are concerned about what we're going through at the moment. Christine's passing was obviously a shock to us. It happened rather quickly, and not that you could ever be prepared for this. You know, it was something we weren't prepared for. Many of you knew that Christine was fighting cancer, but many of you didn't know how sick she really was. And that was because Christine didn't want to be known as a cancer victim. She wanted to be known for her faith in Christ and her love for her family and her love for her friends, and she didn't really want the attention. She just thought that the attention should be on Jesus and not her battle. And so I know it might be strange to think that she wasn't letting a lot of people into that little circle. It was really something, I'll share some things from her journal in the future that she wrote about this. She actually wrote a very long letter to the church family and to friends and family trying to explain it. She never finished it, and she always intended to post it. She just kind of ran out of strength, which was unusual to see for my wife. So, Christine's health started to, she was really strong. Her 5-year battle with cancer, almost 5-year battle with cancer, she felt great through most of that. In August, her health started to take a turn. And then in October, it really the cancer really kind of got really aggressive, and ultimately took her life. But that's not how she really wanted to be remembered. And thank you for all the kind words and all the tributes that people have been posting online, and some that have been sent to me privately about what my wife meant to you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for those words. I really didn't intend it to be like this when I went online today. I knew I had to. I need just to talk a little bit about Monday, the day that she passed. Just so that the story is out there. Not with all the intimate details, but some of them, just because I know people will be asking, and I'm going to forget who I said what to, and so I'd rather just kind of get it out there. And and just let everyone know for the most part what was going on. And so she went in last Tuesday, and over the weekend, this past weekend, her breathing was so erratic. The cancer had destroyed most of her left lung. And so it got to a point where there was a crisis, and the doctors told me that she was about to crash, and that we either needed to decide to let her go or to put her on a ventilator and try to stabilize some things, in the hope of just like a couple days later removing her from the ventilator and helping her just get stable. So we had 5 minutes to make that decision. And those were the last words that I spoke to Christine verbally that she could answer. It is indeed the worst 5 minutes of my life. But the beauty of this is this. When you have 5 minutes left to tell someone that you love them, if you have already spent your whole life together telling them that you love them, and that you knew that without a shadow of a doubt that you loved each other so passionately and so loyal, with so much loyalty and so much grace, although that 5 minutes wasn't long enough, there was so much more communicated between us that could ever be said. And I thank God for that. And I'm pausing right here just to say something to all my married couple friends and the ones who might be listening who don't know me. I don't care how long you've been married, if it's just a few years or for many years. But if you're letting insignificant past things interfere with the love that you are demonstrating to each other, you need to stop today. You really do. If you are in a constant mode of criticizing each other or thinking less of each other, you kind of need to stop today. And you need to look at each other and forgive each other and love on each other and squeeze each other, because you don't know. You don't know when the next time, you just don't know. So I'm encouraging you all out there who are married, you squeeze each other a lot tighter today. You hug on each other. You love on each other. And most of all, you forgive each other, okay? Please do that. I am blessed that my wife and I, we had this thing between us. And it was the saying that no matter if we got upset with each other or hurt or mad even, we always said, nothing is more important than loving each other. Not our opinions, not our attitudes. And that has served us well over 37 years that we were married. Help us get through some tough times, like every married couple goes through. But we would never stop forgiving each other. And we always would say that, even though I'm mad at you, you're not my enemy. And that brought so much love and vibrancy into our marriage that the times that we were lonely and hurt by each other, those times we were able to forgive each other. And so I'm encouraging you today. And yes, you know what? I'm glad that my wife and I loved each other so much that we hardly ever felt distant from each other. We did at times, but it was rare. And it made us so uncomfortable that we couldn't wait to fix it or to make up for each other or to deal with the issues that were causing us to feel separated. So I'm encouraging you today, as that you need to get over stuff. You need to work on stuff. But you need to love your spouse with everything that you possibly can. One, because I believe that's what God wants. And two, because that'll make your marriage stronger, even if it is strong and vibrant. it'll certainly make it stronger. But I'm telling you, you just don't know what the next day holds. You just don't. So that's not exactly what I wanted to get on here and say, but I just felt prompted by the Holy Spirit that, because I wish I could hold Christine again. I wish I could. So, Christine was put on the ventilator, and she did stabilize a bit. And it looked for a while, it did look a little hopeful. But as they started to wean her off the ventilator, it was quite obvious that she wasn't going to be able to really fully breathe on her own. And she had already told us her wishes about not being on a ventilator long and not being put back on once she was off. And so we made the decision just to remove the ventilator and trust the results with God. And about 45 minutes after removing that, Christine passed into glory. All during this time, we were praying over her and singing songs of worship, and nurses would come in and out and pray with us and worship with us. And at the end there, my daughter Sarah started singing the song "Give Me Jesus," which is one of my favorites. And as we finished that small little song, almost as soon, just a few moments after that song, we really almost couldn't continue singing it because we were crying and choked up because we could see that she was slipping. But she took her last breath soon after that. And there's so many more details and so many things that are just not really important right now. But I needed to go on air just to say that for me, for one thing, and because I know so many of you, I'm going to be asked that question, and it's just going to be hard to tell that story over and over again at the time being. And I just want to just kind of do that. Many of you are asking, what can you do? And I appreciate the heart and the thoughts and the great desire, because of love and compassion, that you want to help us with things. Right now, I don't have a list of what that looks like. We don't need meals. We don't need transportation. I have 5 adults living in my home. We can figure that out, and we have been. What we need is, and what you have been supplying, is what we needed all along, is your prayers and your support verbally. And even more so now. See, I don't remember what it feels like to not be married, and I'm gonna struggle with that. My kids are gonna struggle with not having a mom who was their biggest fan, the biggest supporter that they ever had in their lives. And they're going to have to adjust to that. So I'm going to ask, and please forgive my bluntness here. But over my years of counseling and over my years of being a pastor, I've learned one thing about when people are going through grief. That the best thing that you could offer them is an ear. Is just to listen. And to give people room to express whatever they're feeling, no matter how ugly or how rough it might sound. People tend to say things that they mean but don't really mean when they're in grief. And the tendency is to want to correct their thinking that that's a comfort. Can I ask you not to do that for my kids? You could do it with me. And I don't mean to be blunt. But this is their dad speaking. This is their dad, and I know that sometimes we rush in with scriptures, we rush in with platitudes, we rush in with words, thinking that they're a comfort, and all we really need to do is let people talk. So I hope you can understand that. I hope that makes sense. Again, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not saying anyone has done anything yet. I'm trying to do some crowd control for my kids. For me, it's different. But for my kids, I'm just asking it, if you do talk to them, don't talk to them. You just kind of listen and give them room to say whatever they want to say, no matter how rough it might sound. Give them room. Can I make that request? Can I ask that of you, those who love us? I know I can. Again, please don't be offended by it. I don't mean anything by it, except that I'm trying to do some crowd control before all this. I know this is a strange video. Usually I come on and I'm trying to be encouraging. I'm trying to, whatever I try to do. And this is a little bit therapeutic for me. And I could, I could sense that Christine would be telling me, okay, Jay, you've talked enough. They get the picture. You don't have to keep on rambling on. And I'm sorry if I am rambling, but I just wanted to get on really quick and just tell you what that day was kind of like a little bit. Kind of that. Christine did not want a funeral or a wake or anything traditional like that. Sometime in January, we will have a memorial service. We didn't want to do it around the holidays. Everyone is doing stuff and busy with their families. And please, please, please celebrate with your families. Oh my goodness. We have a great reason to celebrate. Jesus is born. I don't care when it was. I don't care if people think it's connected to a pagan holiday. Please don't hit me with that, because that won't be pretty. Enjoy this time. Celebrate this time. It is good news was born. And we get to share in that celebration. And you get to celebrate it with your families and loved ones that might be around, and with friends, and maybe even inviting strangers in. Please celebrate this season. And just remember those who are hurting during this season, because there are many. So sometime in January there will be a memorial service, and we'll let everybody know what that is going to be like. And then we're going to have a small memorial down in Cape Hatteras, just family down sometime in the summertime, but because that's what Christine wanted. So I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I hope I didn't offend anybody by doing some crowd control and things like that. I hope you know we love you. Those who Christine have touched, Michael said this morning. We were just talking, and if everyone that Christine touched could be in the hospital room that night, there wouldn't have been any room in the hospital, much less in that room, to say goodbye to her. She knew that she was loved, and she loved deeply. I don't know of a greater heart that ever lived besides Jesus on this planet. And I say that sincerely. My wife rescued me. She loved me. She loves so many of you. And I hope that those are the kind of things that you remember about her, that you don't remember that those who knew some intimate details of her suffering, and many of you who just knew that she was fighting illness. I hope you recognize that her deep love for God was the thing that sustained her to the very end, and she was not afraid to go, and she was ready. Although we weren't ready to say goodbye to her. So I probably have kept you too long, and I thank you for listening to my therapy session online. And again, this is it does help me to talk about it. And I love you guys. I love all the prayers and all the wonderful tributes that you gave to my wife online, and again, those who have sent things privately and to me. They mean the world to me. I'm going to collect them and put them in a book, and just so I can read them from time to time. Thank you for all the support, and we love you. And if you do have any questions, you can private message me, please. Try to direct them towards me. And again, I just love you, and I hope you know that Christine loved you desperately. And I guess I'm out of words now before I lose it completely. So again, thank you, and there'll probably be more of these as I go along here. Love you all. God bless you.